They're playing obviously extremely high level. That game the other night was as intense, as physical as maybe any I've watched on tape all year in their game with Purdue. And they've been doing a great job on both ends of the floor. Their assists are high. Their three-point shooting is extremely high. They're getting very good play from a lot of different people. And again, it's a typical Michigan State team. Their transition offense is fantastic. A lot of times that best offense is when the shot goes up on the glass. And as I was telling my team from the first day of practice with Tom Izzo 20 years ago, that was the mindset. And bottom line is, they got a lot of offensive players that move the ball extremely well. They're playing like the experienced team that they are, and they got a tremendous amount of experience. They've played together a lot. You can see that on the court. Defensively, they make it really hard because they get back extremely well, but they do such a great job of taking away the elbows, and they force you to cut, and they force you to do different things, and we've got to be very good at that. Some of the keys for us, we just got to play with our eyes up. We've taken the last couple of days to tweak and adjust a couple things, refine some things on both ends, on offense and defense. But in that game, you just got to make plays. You've got to make plays, and you've got to cut and move without the ball, and there's got to be a rhythm to your offense. And we've got to make quick passes, and we've got to set great screens. And whether it's waiting for the ball screen, whether it's cutting sharper and harder, whether it's setting a better screen and having a better roll, whether it's making the next pass. I thought in the second half we didn't make as many quick passes, especially on our drives. And that's our team. We're a quick pass team. We need rhythm in our shooting. And again, our shooting hasn't been as good over 40 minutes the last couple games, which has affected us some. When we look at the numbers, we miss Colin a great deal. It's amazing how down our percentages are just because of one guy in the sense of the way he moves the basketball. He's got such a great basketball IQ. And again, he's 6'6", and he's playing out of position, but you have to guard him, and he moves the basketball. And we haven't had very many games where we've had our guys playing the 5 spot together. So hopefully as we keep moving here, we'll have that. And he's getting closer. I can't give you a concrete answer today, but he's getting closer to it, and with Colin, that is. And hopefully we have him soon. But that's pretty much where we stand. Go ahead.
If Dawson doesn't play tomorrow, which he may not, he get hit in the head because on tape. I mean, how much does that change the dynamics?
I don't think it changes, and we're counting on him playing. I mean, you always prepare and then you adjust if they don't. But he is who he is. He rebounds the ball at an extremely high rate. He's long and athletic. He does a great job defensively of avoiding the screen and getting in the passing lane for steals. I mean, you've got to screen him. You've got to be aware of where he's at. His wingspan is so good, and he's doing such a good job of moving his feet. But you've got to keep him off the glass. You can't buy the hard dribble one way to come back over the left shoulder, which is what he does. You've got to challenge his shots. You've got to make him move on defense. So if it's not him, I mean, they won the game the other night without him. I mean, so they're a deep team with a lot of experience, and that plays into it. So we're counting on seeing him, and if it's not, they'll adjust, we'll adjust. I don't think it'll change much of what our game plan is.
In the last couple weeks, you've kind of touched on tapering and kind of keeping an eye on guys at this time of year. Can you kind of expand on that a little bit?
Not really.
What do you do to make sure that guys aren't really hitting the wall?
We just practice. Our practices are really sharp. They're very, very intense and short, and we're very clear on what we want to get done, especially the last couple of days. Took Thursday off. Took Wednesday off. Played Tuesday. Took Wednesday off. Practice yesterday and today, and so they're shorter over duration. But we still get what we have to get done. We get the offensive things in. A lot of situational things today, and but we don't get away from the skill development. I mean, there's a gym full of guys shooting right now. We've been done for a while, so but we don't take anything for granted in that area. We just shorten. I guess to give you an answer, we do pretty much the same things. We just shorten it up, and I never start practice the same way 2 days in a row. Anyways, never have. So we try to keep it, there's a plan to it, but it's not so regimented that it becomes, okay, we're on to this, we're on to that. We try to keep it creative. And it's the bottom line more than anything else.
You mentioned guys in Cook Hall shooting, on their own often. I mean, how do you make sure they don't overwork themselves?
We talk about that some. But they're usually not going to do that. I mean, that can happen. I mean, we've got guys that are late night shooters. Yogi's a real late night guy. I mean late night, like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. He's in here shooting the ball a lot. So again, I factor that in. I factor that into our workouts, and I didn't always factor that in a couple years ago. Will and Jordan and Victor especially. Will was a lot of early morning. Victor was a lot late at night, and they're so hungry to get better. And Rob's like that a little bit. He's early morning, he's late at night. So I factor that into our practices. I factor that into who I pull in and out. But we're in a good place right now, energy-wise. And we could certainly stand a little more consistent depth right now. And when Colin gets back, hopefully that'll help provide it. But our guys are in a good frame of mind.
How do you manage senior day without any seniors? I mean, you got?
We got two managers I'm proud of.
Okay.
So Chad and Steve have done a great job here. But I mean, it just kind of goes to show. I mean, when they throw up that Ken Palm 336 out of whatever it is, that's our team. You know, I don't lose sight of that in the perspective of what they have to get better at and what they don't know, what they're learning. The great thing about this group all year long has been the resiliency, the resolve. We may struggle in some other areas at times on the court, but we don't struggle on getting back, getting ready, and making adjustments and bouncing back from things.
To bring in a blunt question, as you talked about that. So I hear guys were getting questions about whether the season was slipping away after Iowa. Do you see some of
Who was getting questions on that?
I think players were after the game. Do you see some of that stealing this team, making it tougher? You talked about them rallying through adversity earlier.
Yeah, I don't see any of that. Yeah, I don't see any of that. That's not anything that factors into anything that we're doing.
When you look at the significance of this game in terms of postseason, I know you're focused on the game, but still there's that must-win, and it's not just you. There's Purdue, Illinois. There's almost Ohio State.
We're just focused on the game, Pete. I'm not past that. Okay, we're just focused on the last 2 days of practice and on the game, and that's the way it always is and the way it'll be. I mean, that's what we're focused on. I mean, and so I don't care if we had the oldest team in the country. I don't think you start jumping ahead. And the way you plan ahead is you start tapering your practices and things like that over a period of time, which we've done. But there's never any look into the next thing, and the only thing you look back at is what you have to improve in from the last game. And then sometimes with the film sessions we're just having now, you'll go back over a segment of games with certain guys on certain things that, okay, look at this, look at that. You know, this is a trend. We got to fix this, fix that, that type of stuff. But it's all locked into getting ready for the next game.
Anything else?
Has your team changed since the game at Michigan State at all?
Well, I'd hope so. Yeah, I'd hope so. Considering that was the second Big Ten game of the year, I would hope so. Yeah,
And in what ways do you think they have
well,
changed?
I think I'm not sure how to answer that. I mean, I think they changed the next day. Okay, I mean, they've changed in a lot of ways. They're better in a lot of ways. Everybody's better in a lot of ways, team-wise. So when we watch that film, we're a much different team, which we would expect that we would be, considering that that was the second Big Ten game of the year.
I guess with all the noise that swirls around this program this week, do you sense the guys maybe rallying together and all? Is that
I think our guys are fantastic. I'm proud of these young men. They've done a fantastic job all year long and all week long, and I think they're absolutely focused, as is their coach and their coaches and everybody else on what they need to do.
What are the differences Tom coming for them when he's playing consistently? When you guys played him the first time, he was playing, but not playing as much as he is, and not as big of a part of the team as he is now. His speed and what he's been able to do. How much?
Well, he penetrates. He's like so many other guards in this league. His penetration is to get people open, so you can't overreact to him. I mean, he's got great speed and quickness and all that, but you cannot overreact. They want you to have him. They want you to overreact to him. They want you to bring two people, and that just frees up. He's doing a great job of kicking the ball out and finding people, whether it's drop-offs on the bottom, but especially kick-outs and threes. And he guards hard. I mean, he guards hard. He fouls some, okay, when you look at his numbers, but he guards hard, and you've got to do a great job of screening him and moving him without the ball, and he provides a lot. And he's got tremendous toughness. That's why we liked him out of high school. He's just got tremendous toughness. So he's doing a really good job for them on both ends, right? But there's no way Tom would be playing in the minutes that he plays.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Okay.